Hello again, my dear students. I think I've succeeded in getting this last video on YouTube, and I'll carry on. Just in terms of your questions, and you're wondering about what to do about all the trauma, the historic trauma, the lateral violence, the woundedness, the loss of identity, all of these things that continue to plague Aboriginal people. It's important to know that in many ways this lies in the hands of Aboriginal people themselves. And I know that Catherine Twin, the new ADM for Aboriginal Issues and Community Engagement, has placed this as a top priority in her work over the next 3 years. I think our part is to try to understand as much as we can what that trauma was about and how it's expressed in the day-to-day realities that we encounter, how it's expressed in the inability to parent and to attach to children in the way that we would hope, in the way that it's expressed in the seeking of alternative ways of dealing with pain, whether it be drugs or alcohol or the many forms of addictions that all of us turn to at different times in our life. When we think about the kinds of depression and mental problems that this has created and how we can help to address these kinds of issues, we need to think about how we can be of assistance in very concrete, practical ways. Many of the issues that we see in child welfare are rooted in poverty, as we know, and loneliness and social isolation, and having crappy housing and living in risky neighborhoods, and racial prejudice. These are all things that we can do something about in one way or another. And it's a way in which we can collaborate as allies with Aboriginal people as we gain more understanding and become more compassionate. We're able to find more appropriate ways of healing. It means that we have to let go of some of our current practices. We have to let go of what I see happening on a day-to-day basis, which is laying out a whole series of conditions that must be met within a very brief period of time. Conditions that are rooted in multi-generational trauma, and yet we ask parents to address these issues in a period of months and expect them to overcome these difficulties that many of us would be hard-pressed to overcome in a lifetime. It may be that what we can expect needs to be a lot more realistic and a lot more supportive. I really feel that when we work at the front end in a different way, I don't know why my picture was fading there, I guess I moved, we can make a greater difference. My vision for Edmonton is really the creation of a large healing center. Currently we have, I don't know, about 2,000 children from various resources in Edmonton. I don't know how many families. And what we offer them is programs that are very much ill-suited for them. We offer them parenting classes. We offer them rehab services. We offer them anger management. We offer to help them with their alcohol and drug problems. We offer them a whole lot of things that are really conditions that I think are more intended to prove the extent to which they are dedicated to their children than it is to really heal from the inside out. And I really wonder if we had a healing center where families could go and heal in their own ways, whether that be the traditional Aboriginal way, whether it be a spiritual path, whether it be a Western path. But they have a choice. I think we could be a lot more successful. I wish we could ask them what they think would work for them rather than imposing our solutions on them, because they have their own ideas and their own thoughts. And I see so many parents who are trying to jump through the hoops that we lay out for them. And sometimes when you succeed in jumping through all the hoops, just for good measure, we add a few more just to test them a bit more and frustrate them that much further. Every day I would wonder what would happen if we put as many resources in helping them to sustain their family as we did in taking away their children, whether the outcomes wouldn't be a whole lot different and a whole lot better. I see examples now of programs where instead of taking all the children away, we ask the parents to leave for a little while, to look after their issues, to do the treatment program, to address the things that they need to address, bring in a caregiver, hopefully a relative or someone they know, to take care of the children in their home, not someone else's home. We keep them in their school, in their community, with their friends. And I think this can be far more successful. It means changing our minds. It means changing the way we look at things. It means stopping this reaction that is almost a knee-jerk reaction we have with Native people, where we expect so much and we give them so little. This healing center could be a place where the families could come together to get support from each other, to get to know each other, to connect with each other. It could be a place where the children who come from Obima and Kihiwin and Saddle Lake and Enoch could come together and play together and keep their friendships going. It could be a place with celebration, a place where families and children come together and they do this collectively in the way that they would normally do in their community. It can become a place where we have feast, where we have dancing, where we have the normal things of life, and the normal things of human discourse. I've been raising this issue with some of the local communities and the local reserves, and they think it's a great idea. I hope it flies. I'm going to keep flogging it as long as I can. I think the solutions lie in opening our minds to possibilities. And in the words of Carlos Castaneda, when he asked the shaman how he would know if he was on the right path, and the shaman told him there was only one way to know if he was on the right path, and that was to ask yourself the question, does this path have a heart? Now, if we stop and think about what we're doing in child welfare these days, I don't think we can say that this path has a heart. And I think we have to pose the question, and if it doesn't have a heart, we have to follow the shaman's advice. If this path has no heart, drop it. And I think this is what we have to do. We have to drop it and find a path with a heart with Aboriginal people. So that's another little thing to think about. And then I'll have to upload this and I'll come back to you in a little while. Okay, so that's it for now.